Hello and welcome back to a new watercolour video. Today's video is another beautiful watercolour book. There just seems to be endless watercolour books lately available and I just cannot resist them. So this one's in French, unfortunately, but I've downloaded the Google Translate app, and as you can see, so that's titles there in French. And it says Painting the Secrets of Forest in Watercolour. So it's such a beautiful, beautiful book. And it's by this lady here, Jennifer Lefebvre. And she's at Jenny Illustrations and she also has a YouTube channel. I've watched a few of her videos as well. And she's just an absolutely beautiful watercolourist. And this is an absolutely amazing book. I'll give you a quick flick through and then I'm going to try some of the tutorials in the book. So I'm just going to give you an example of what I'm going to do. If you can see, the instructions are in French, and then I've got the Google Translate app with the camera turned on. You can see how it translates the text. It really doesn't matter with today's technology if it's in a different language. Okay, so this book is absolutely jam-packed with beautiful tutorials, beautiful artwork. So we've got all the usual pages of art materials at the beginning of the book, such as paper and paints and brushes, different colours. Then we're going to techniques. I really fancy having a go at this. This looks good. That would be great for the granulating watercolours. Yeah, loads of little techniques, salt, lifting out, things like that. Loads of little, just like little things from the forest, which is just my absolute favourite. Little tree stumps. So I had a little flick through it last night, and I think you get a page of all these little pictures. And then over the next few pages, there's a tutorial for each of those. And then there's just different sections. So then we'll go on to all these ones, which looks like fungi. All different kinds of fungi. We've got some insects. These are really interesting. Tree stumps. Look at this. Beautiful. Full page painting, so that's like a really good one. Then we'll go back to smaller stuff. Look at all this. Little hedgehog. I love this. Oh, I'd really love to do this one. So lots and lots and lots. So these are the ones that I really, really love. I really want to learn how to do this. Trees. Yeah, so I absolutely adore this one. It's so nice. That would be a really good one to try for Halloween. Yeah, these ones that I really liked. Which ones? These ones, I've seen her doing these ones on her YouTube channel. Okay, so now I'm going to attempt a couple of these. I want to try out this new watercolour paper. Not new for me. I've just purchased this Canson Moulin de Roy, so I want to try that out. And I've also got the new, all the new greens that I've just purchased recently from Szmal. These are going to be perfect for this book. Yeah, and I've got some of the colours, some more greens and a lovely pink on the little urban sketches set. So I've got quite a few colours to pick from, and I'm also going to add some of the fragments as well. I'm absolutely loving these lately. I just painted this on my previous video, that's up on my channel. Don't know if it's going to show up in this light. And I used the sapphire fragments, as you can see, on the sky. and also on the water. So I'm going to be using those. I think in the greenery, if I use the green one, that's just gonna look absolutely beautiful.
Easy rider on the highway, station wagon going slow, windows open, you are basking in the bluegrass radio. It is easy now to see you with your hand out on the wind. I keep this folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Pink azaleas by your driveway, shade our leisurely goodbyes in your terry cotton sweater.
So I'm going to attempt this one. I've mixed the colours up. They're not the exact same colours as the artist suggests in the book because I don't have all of those colours. So I've just made up my own colours that look a little bit similar. And I'm just going to follow the process. I'm going to try and paint this cute little thing here.
You were waving till the bend. I keep this folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget. And your shadow to the coast, past the surf and whitewashed beaches, under cypress trees and smoke, carved like lovers into driftwood. On this moment I depend. I keep this folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget.
Okay, so that's the first little attempt. Quite difficult. Definitely needs a bit more practice. I think I've missed a bit, like they've put like a darker kind of. I need to draw this over the top. I'm going to draw this one over the top. Missed that out. So she's just painted that right over the top of. So it's like a kind of like a spindly thing with leaves coming off it. And then another one going in the opposite direction. Okay, so mine looks a complete mess compared to that one. But I do really love this type of watercolour pen, and I would definitely like to try and get better and better at that. Okay, so on to the next one. So I've translated all the colours so I can easily work out what they are without using the translator. I might try some of the little flowers. I'm going to have a go at these. Now it's saying to mix Daniel Smith Lunar Blue with some white gouache. I'm not sure if it'll end up that colour, but I'll give it a good try. So Lunar Blue, which is really, really dark, and some white gouache. There's just absolutely no way that's a blue colour. It's grey. That can't be right. Okay, I'm just gonna go for, I think I'll use this. Yeah, I'll go for these. I'll just use this cerulean blue, I think. I'm gonna start off with the little petals.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see.
Okay, so that's that one. Fairly simple. I don't think I've got the strokes right, but yeah, I definitely need to practice on strokes. There shouldn't be a great big thick one up at the top. They should get thinner as they go upwards. Yeah, but it's a nice little flower to paint. I'm going to give up on trying to follow the colours that the person uses in the book, and I'm just going to use my own colours. I wonder if it might be better to draw the strokes first and then add the flowers and the leaves. It's a bit difficult to make the strokes work when you've already placed the flowers down, so I'm just going to try that one again.
I see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine.
I think that one's a little bit better, but the stroke's too straight in the middle. It's probably a good idea to just practice strokes on their own. Next I'm going to have a go at this little one here with these little green mushrooms. That looks really cute. I've done a little bit more practice, just trying to get those strokes right. And yeah, still couldn't get it right, but I think I'm kind of improving a little bit here. I was just doodling here. So I'm going to make the mushrooms a little bit glittery with some of these emerald fragments. I'm going to stick some water on that, leave that to soak, and then I'm going to mix the colour for the mushrooms. I'm going to mix some ultramarine and some lemon yellow. Make it quite watery. Bit more blue. Yeah, I think I'll go with that colour. That's a nice colour. And then I'm just going to use the greens that I used before. And then I'm going to get some of this gorgeous emerald fragments. Just mix it into both of those. So I'm going to try and copy the shape of the mushrooms. There's 4 mushrooms. And then while it's wet, quickly drop in the green grassy area underneath. Okay, so that's the first layer. And now I've got to glaze over with some shading. So I'm going to use the darker mix and kind of define the edges of mushrooms. And then the next step is to just add some more detail to the mushrooms to make them look more three-dimensional. There we go, so that's that one finished. I must say I did really enjoy that. I think I'm a detail painter at heart, and I think I've tried for years to kind of pull off a loose style, and I just find it so difficult. I think I'm just drawn to being more detailed. So there we go, that's that one finished. Some beautiful shimmery mushrooms. You can see the emerald fragments there. Okay, I'm going to move on to another one now. Okay, so next I really want to have a go at this one. I think this looks absolutely gorgeous, and I fancy trying something a little bit more ambitious. And I've had a look at the stages. It looks quite doable, but it's really awkward translating with this iPad. It's just awkward. It's much easier to use the Google Translate with a phone. So I've done that, and I've took screenshots, and then I've transferred the screenshots onto this larger iPad. So yeah, I can just follow those. That's going to be so much easier. So the translator isn't really perfect. I'm just looking at the colours just to see what the colours she's used. And that number 24 translates as umber violet. So I thought, right, I've never heard of that before, but yeah, I've pinned it down to this. It's shadow violet, because I've got the little dock cards of the Daniel Smith colours. And if you look at that shadow violet there, and then number 24 on this, that's definitely the same colour. Yeah, it's definitely the same. Yeah, so it's not perfect, the Google Translate, but you can still kind of work it out. I'm going to use Archie's paper for this one. I'm going to use the block. So I've actually worked out for this painting, I do have most of the colours in the Daniel Smith, except for Indian Yellow, but I've got this in Holbein, and Mars Black. I don't have a Mars Black, but I'm just going to use this Lunar Black instead and hope that'll be okay. I mean, that's quite granulating, so it should look nice. So I'm just applying this beautiful shadow violet. Absolutely gorgeous, this colour. Another colour was, I had to exchange the sap green for Serpentine Genuine because I don't have a sap green in Daniel Smith. I've got the Roman Szmal one, but it's not the same colour, it's completely different colour. Okay, the first layer is dry now. What's really interesting is these background trays that I had to lay in. On the artist's picture, there's these lines here, these faint lines, and then they're just going to be background trays. But it's so difficult to get the timing right for that because it's got to be at the perfect time. So this was too early, the paper was still wet and it just spread out. This one was kind of the right time. It didn't spread out too much, it just feathered a little bit, but my mix was a little bit too dark. It should be more faint than that. This one wasn't too bad, and then this one was too late. The paper was too dry, so it just kind of scratched some of the colour out. And then also the instructions said to lift some of the green out to make lighter patches, and if you look here, it's perfect on there, but then mine is left a kind of scratchy look. I mean, I'm not worried because I'll probably cover it up, but yeah, that's interesting. That is difficult to get the perfect timing to lay those background trees in. Okay, now for the super difficult bit, I'm going to need to try and draw some trees. Oh, flaming hell. Why? so that's the finished painting. I'd love to practice more and get better at this because there's a few things I could have done better. The bottom area seems to have gone a bit muddy, and I don't think I have enough trees in the background. I'm quite pleased with this tree here. I think this one turned out nice, and because it's kind of granulating and there's these little patches, it looks like shaded areas in the tree, which is quite nice. Definitely need more tree practice. This one here, don't really like this one here. More practice, I need more practice. So that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Please give me a like and leave a comment if you've enjoyed it, and I'll have another video up very soon.